What?
In a nice way.
Uh-huh.
You know, I would just say to her, you know, I'd even text her, said, Mari, I thought about it. And sorry you feel that way, but if I had...
Kevin Lehman, I'm Clay Matvick. The Ramblers have won 11 straight. They can all but wrap up the Valley regular season crown with a win today. And after a 27-point loss yesterday, Drake has dropped 2 of its last 3 and in jeopardy of being squeezed out of the NCAA tournament picture. Yesterday, Loyola got 30 points and 15 rebounds combined from Cam Krutwig and Aher Uguak. And part of the reason was because Shanquan Hemphill was out for Drake. He got hurt on Wednesday with a broken foot. He's out a month, and they just missed him terribly.
Krutwig had his 19th double-double. Well, there's Roman Penn, who had a rough day at the office yesterday. 2 for 13. The best point guard in the Valley had a rough day, and he needs to step up big for the Bulldogs tonight.
Loyola in white, Drake in blue, Ray Natilli, John Higgins, and Terry Oglesby are crew. And Drake controls the opening tip. NCAA tournament hopes may hinge on the outcome for the Bulldogs today, and it is Roman Penn taking the first shot. Got his own miss, and he sticks it back, Kevin. And like you said, he needs to re-emerge today.
Well, this is a young man that they love his leadership qualities. That's what attracted him to Darren DeVries, the transfer from Siena. Draws first blood.
There's the starting 5 for Loyola, the same as it was yesterday. Very veteran team. And Krutwig, the big man, tried to tip that one up and in, and he may have been fouled. Now it's just going to be out of bounds. It's going to stay on this end. Krutwig yesterday, he and Uguak were quite the team.
They had 30 points, 15 rebounds. Krutwig in his 19th double-double. And he affects the game in so many ways. Not only scoring and rebounding, his ability to pass the basketball.
Krutwig from just beyond the free throw line comes up short on that attempt. Candidate for Valley Player of the Year. And now here comes DJ Wilkins. Tremel Murphy, he has been hot as of late. He had 9 in the first half yesterday, but was scoreless in the second half.
Keep an eye on Lucas Williamson and Uguak, who they match up defensively. Those are the 2 elite defenders for this Loyola Rambler team.
Now, despite the big win yesterday, KL, for Loyola, they did have some uncharacteristic turnovers. We see one there.
They had 8 in the first half, and I believe 11 for the game, straighten up in the second half, but very rarely do you see them turn it over without any pressure.
And you got to believe that Porter Moser was harping on that, not just at halftime yesterday, but after the game yesterday, again, despite the big win. Here's Brody. Darnell Brody comes up with a miss. Rebound Sturts, can't put it back. Norris clears it for Loyola, gets it in the hands of Clemens. Keith Clemens turns it over.
Great activity from Garrett Sturts. He got the offensive rebound at his end, couldn't convert, chased it down. Watch him come in from behind, number 3. A young man from Newton, Iowa. It's the energy the Bulldogs are going to need tonight.
And his first start of the year yesterday, second obviously today. And he's been fired up. One of the better players on the floor yesterday for Drake. Penn finds Sturts. Shot clock down to 5 here. Brody backing in over Krutwig, and he got it. And that's kind of how Darnell Brody started yesterday, Cal.
Well, he was good yesterday. He got the first 6 points for the Bulldogs, but then he had foul issues. Came out in the second half, scored the first basket. They need Darnell Brody to stay out of foul problems today.
Yeah, he was out of the game late in that contest with a disqualification with his 5th foul.
At 6'10", 275, he can match up one-on-one with Cameron Krutwig.
There are a couple other Drake Bulldogs. Penn and Samaka also got into some early foul trouble. Uguak tried to adjust around the defense of Tremel Murphy, and he left it a little short.
Uguak with a big game yesterday. He had 20 points just on 12 shots. You see Drake, a lot of high ball screens, but Loyola is not switching.
Penn had it blocked by Krutwig out of bounds. It'll stay with Drake with 13 seconds on the shot clock.
That Penn trying to turn the corner. He got in deep all day yesterday, but did not able to convert. Just 2 of 13. Krutwig, great timing.
That's up and in.
That's the same play, Clay, they used for Tank Hemphill. OB under, they used to run down the middle and throw up lob for a dunk. That time, Tremel Murphy taking his spot. Easy basket for the Bulldogs.
6-0 start here for Drake. Williamson had it slapped away, out of bounds.
OB under. Porter Moser likes to win the small battles. Out of bounds, side and under are the small battles. Loyola just lost that one.
18-3, the hottest team in the Valley. Loyola trying to get on the board, and they do with Lucas Williamson, the special leader from Chicago, with a 3.
That's big. Williamson can stretch the defense.
This is a good shooting Loyola team, 53%, best in the Valley, 3rd in the country. They shot 64% as a team yesterday.
They were sizzling in the second half.
Brody. He has not been afraid to take the mid-range shot in this series, Kevin.
That was not a good shot, though. Krutwig had him pushed out an extra 2 steps outside of his range. Now keep your eye on Sturts. He's the double man on Krutwig.
Krutwig trying to use the window, a little strong. Brody, baseball pass to Wilkins in the front court. 6-3, Drake with the lead early. DJ Wilkins, deep 3. Boy, he has just been off from outside the arc lately.
Well, he's got Aher Uguak on him at 6'7". Wilkins at 6'2". Got a shoe with that long arm. They're not switching those screens. That time, Uguak went underneath and came with his hands high.
Wilkins, their best three-point shooter, was 0 for 3 yesterday. Uguak can't find the range there.
He's testing the waters today, Uguak.
Boy, the pace is fast, and that's certainly going to benefit Drake. They average 81 points per game. They want this fast and high scoring.
And we saw it in the first half yesterday, but the breaks went on in the second half. This Loyola defense, again, one-on-one inside.
Brody, well defended by Krutwig. Quick outlet. Look out. Uguak with a slam.
Well, Brody was complaining to the official about a foul. Loyola keeps on playing. Easy basket.
So 5-0 run now for the Ramblers after Drake got out to a 6-0 start. Penn for Sturts, good shot fake. He'll throw it up with the right hand, too strong, and here comes Norris the other way for Loyola. Williamson again for 3, and that's his second triple.
No numbers, but Williamson's feeling it. He pulls the trigger in transition.
Drake over 3 minutes now without a point. Wilkins will try again, and again he's off the mark. And this is reminiscent now, Kevin, of the early minutes of the second half yesterday when Loyola pulled away.
They need to get DJ Wilkinson. He's got to see the ball go through the net. Big time score from that.
Cam Krutwig sealed off by Brody. He'll settle for the left-hand hook, and Brody will get the rebound.
They're keeping Krutwig guessing. What you've got is Sturts. He's lurking in the weeds. Sometimes he goes and doubles Krutwig. Sometimes he doesn't. Had a lot of success getting some loose balls yesterday for the Bulldogs.
Drake has missed its last 6 shots. And at this pace, Kevin, we're going to be done in under an hour. There have not been many whistles. Brody, as I say that, is fouled with 12:52 to go here in the first quarter.
The Loyola offense gets an easy run out. Uguak out ahead of the pack, punches one through, and then in transition, Williamson steps into the open 3 and bangs it home for the Ramblers.
Dr. Pepper and cream soda's here. A new combo that's music to my ears, okay. Let's play. Cream soda and Dr. Pepper time. The treat that treats you right. Pour it in a glass of wine. Dr. Pepper and cream soda. A delicious duet.
Everybody wants a place to be. Lobsters live at the bottom of the sea, while I'm at the bottom of the air.
How great is it that we get to tell everybody how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need? I mean, uh-oh, sorry. Oh, what? I'm an emu! No, buddy, only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Welcome to Habanero Ranch, home of the fiery sauce.
Join us.
The new mouth-watering fiery famous star at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Feed your happy.
Their love keeps you centered. This Valentine's Day, tell them with a gift from the Center of Me collection. Exclusively at K.
It's NBA on ABC time. Heat, Lakers, Celtics, Pelicans on ABC.
It's been a game of runs so far here in Des Moines, and Loyola leads at 8-6, 12:52 to go here in the first half. Alongside Kevin Lehman, I'm Clay Matvick. Welcome back to the Knapp Center. And Joe Lenardi, our bracketologist, still has the Missouri Valley as a two-bid league, but after the Drake loss yesterday, things are getting a little bit ticklish for the Bulldogs. That net for Drake dropped 10 points. They need a split here, Kevin.
They really do. They went from a 30 to a 40, and it helped Loyola. They went from 13 to 10. And if you look at the numbers from 2019, they can tell us a little bit of something about the net. NC State got left out with a 33. But guess what? St. John's got in with a 73. So I don't know if we can figure the net out or not, Clay.
Now, I know that Darren DeVries, the third-year head coach for Drake, knows that this is going in the wrong direction. This program started out 18-0 this year, one of the best starts in program history. And a couple weeks ago, they looked like a lead pipe cinch to be in the NCAA tournament, but it's not necessarily the case now. So much riding on this game.
And Lenardi moved him from the first 4 byes to the last 4 in category this morning.
Now Roman Penn misses from range. Caroms out to Tate Hall.
So as you mentioned, Clay, we're battling for position in first place in the loss column. Drake 1 game behind the Ramblers, but also if you're looking at trying to build that resume for at-large, this is huge for both teams.
That's an offensive foul on Loyola. Tom Welch, who just checked into the game, picks up his first personal. A sophomore from Naperville.
What Porter Mosier has done when Darren DeVries takes out Darnell Brody, he immediately takes out Krutwig to give him a rest. Your first inclination would be to let Krutwig go and play against the smaller Samaka, but Porter knows they're in this for the long run. It's going to be a 40-minute game. He wants to get his big man some extra minutes.
Drake needs a good trip up the floor, and they get a kiss off the window from Joe Yesufu, the sophomore, who had 9 points yesterday. And it's a long scoring drought for the Bulldogs.
Yesufu was huge against Golden Iowa with a career-high 18 points.
Roman Penn wasting no time. And that's rejected by Welch. And we got another timeout with 11:27 to go in the half. When we come back, we'll look back at how Loyola helped change college basketball forever on the way to a national title.
Between sudden snowfalls, slick ice, and freezing temperatures, winter can be pretty unpredictable. But the one thing you can predict is that the legendary capability of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever, can handle it all. Jeep Grand Cherokee, there's only one.
Right now, get 0% financing for 72 months on select 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee models.
Now with Taco Bell's app, you can build your own $5 cravings box. Because you know what you crave at Taco Bell. So eat like you. Build your own $5 cravings box today, only online or with the Taco Bell app.
I've heard thousands of spectacular love stories in my bridal career. Stories that have inspired me to create my first ever jewelry collection. Together, these rings tell the story of what we all dream of. One brilliant love.
Jared, love brilliantly. Hiring is challenging, especially for key roles.
Finding the right people is a very difficult task. ZipRecruiter finds us the best people for the job. They sent my jobs to the top job sites and found people with the right skills and experience. We've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists. With ZipRecruiter, we get hiring results.
ZipRecruiter, rated the #1 hiring site. Try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/fans.
It's remembered as the game of change. The second round of the 1963 NCAA tournament, Mississippi State and Loyola, during the height of the civil rights movement. All-white Mississippi State, against strong disapproval from segregationists in the South, played the integrated Loyola team. It's considered a defining moment in the desegregation of college basketball. Loyola went on to win the '63 national title and helped change the game forever.
The Loyola Project is a continuous of this, Clay, and involved in this is Lucas Williamson. He's doing the narration on this documentary of that 1963 Loyola Rambler team who went on to win the national championship. We've heard about the '66 Texas Western team that put 5 black stars out there. This is a team by George Ireland that had 4 black stars, and Jerry Harkins, Vic Rouse, Ron Miller, and Les Hunter. And we're seeing Lucas Williamson. He wrote some of the script and also going to be the narrator on this movie.
Yeah, he's a special kid. And you talked about his play on the floor. That speaks for itself, but some of the things that he is doing off the floor also have really been inspiring.
A great bond this summer with Porter Mosier as they dealt with on campus different issues that they dealt with, social injustice. And of course, Lucas Williamson, he's on the Alliance for Equity, the Rambler Alliance for Equity. And Porter Mosier's on the NABC Alliance for Equity. Those two spent a lot of time this summer talking about social inequality, brought them closer together.
So now Drake on a 4-0 run after Tremel Murphy gets a couple at the line. Bulldogs go back in front by 2, approaching the midway point of the first half. Norris guarded there by Wilkins. Shot clock at 5. Welch a long way from the hoop. Moves into the paint, running out of time, floats it up and in. Tom Welch, with no time to spare, gets a bucket.
This Loyola team does not panic deep in the shot clock. You'll see them do that often. Clock in his head, Welch finishes.
Meanwhile, Drake, a lot of times they're a quick fire bunch. And they like to keep the tempo up.
But they're going against a team, the Ramblers, that pride themselves in taking away transition baskets. That's one of the things Porter Mosier said. We have to take away transition baskets, no live ball turnovers.
Yesufu falling away. And now that's a foul on Murphy on that long rebound. He hacked Braden Norris. Well, it's an ACC Big 12 Big Monday doubleheader. We have it for you on ESPN. Number 9, Virginia squaring off against number 17, Florida State at 7 Eastern. Then we're going to go to the Big 12 for 7th-ranked Texas Tech taking on TCU in Fort Worth. The Big 12 has 10 teams. 7 are expected to get a bid on Selection Sunday, which is exactly 1 month from today. Kennedy knifing in, and Loyola goes back in front with 10 minutes to go.
Loyola with a lot of pop off their bench. Kennedy being a candidate for 6th man of the year, along with Garrett Sturtz, who's trying to score for the Bulldogs.
And he can't do it. Hall clears, and Norris will come ahead. Transfer from Oakland, flipping it toward Hall. That's broken up, and here comes Penn back the other way for Drake.
See how quickly Loyola gets back in transition, gets in position in front of the basketball.
Yesufu around Norris, flips it up and in. Man, he has been one of their best bench players in recent weeks.
Well, that's a tough shot. Well defended. Yesufu's able to slide it through the basket. Literally banked the one in from the top of the key. Good day for Joseph Yesufu.
This reminds me a lot of yesterday's first half as we have another tie. And now we get a whistle and a stoppage. There's something on the floor.
Yesufu trying to take Norris off the bounce. Got his shoulders squared up. Keeps his eye on the prize. It's good defense, but even better offense by Joseph Yesufu. This guy was a big factor early last year for the Bulldogs and hurt his knee, Clay. Came back this year healthy, gives him some speed in the backcourt.
There's a foul on Marquise Kennedy. You talked about him being a candidate for sixth man. Just an exciting player out of Brother Rice High School in Chicago. He did not play last weekend because of some hamstring issues. And they're happy to have him back. As Porter Moser, there you see him in his 10th year as the Loyola head coach. Got him to the Final Four 3 years ago, and he sends Cam Krutwig back on the floor.
Brody comes back in. Krutwig comes back in.
Brody lost his dribble, looking for help.
Well, Williamson doing a good job of helping him there. Williamson slipped and fell down. Murphy gets all the way to the rim. Williamson gets tripped in the lane.
Murphy with 6 here early. He had some knee issues last year. Only played in 5 games. He has been a dynamite piece to the puzzle this year for the Bulldogs.
He's expanded his range, Clay. Can shoot the 3-ball in. Has always been very strong in the block. And they'll try to get him a mismatch inside on smaller guards if they can get the switch. Loyola's trying not to switch those perimeter screens.
Mid-range jumper doesn't go for Clemens. Offensive rebound. Here's Kennedy. Another offensive rebound, and Krutwig makes Drake pay. The best rebounding team in the Valley is Drake, but so far, Loyola's taken it to the Dogs.
Loyola's playing ping pong on the backboard with the Bulldogs.
And that one's tied up. The possession arrow is going to give it to Loyola.
Well, we talked about Tremel Murphy. They had a big game out of him, but Williamson slips down. Murphy gets all the way to the rim, takes it back with his left hand, soft off the window. We got a tie game here at the Knapp Center.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Shareholders are very happy.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I only pay for what I need. What a great day. What an okay day. What a messed up.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Romulus, your city will be finished in just one day.
Finished? My Colosseum! They'll never finish it today!
Unfortunately, we ran out of Red Bull.
Huh, so that's why Rome wasn't built in a day.
Crispy, juicy, hand-breaded chicken. Crispy, juicy, hand-breaded chicken. Crispy, zesty, fiery sauce. Crispy, zesty, fiery sauce.
Hand-breaded chicken tenders with new fiery sauce at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Feed your happy.
As a digital partner, continuity is critical to our clients' success.
AmericanEagle.com provides end-to-end digital solutions. From website development to content development, digital marketing and hosting services. Partnering with their clients by delivering a complete digital program to help drive their business.
Is your digital partner delivering everything you need?
AmericanEagle.com, building your digital mindset.
Our love affair with cars runs deep. Whether we're hitting the town for a night out, heading to work, our everyday commitments, a girls' get-together, or just making the scene. We love our cars. So when it's time for the next one, why not send your baby away with a purpose? Jalopies for Jesus. America's Christian Car Donation Center. Donate your car and be a blessing to others.
The Bulldogs and the Ramblers tied at 14, 7:46 to go here in the first half. There's Griff 2, the Drake mascot. We showed him to you yesterday. He can't be here because of COVID protocol. I'm afraid too many fans are going to want to be in close proximity to the dog and then each other. So he's staying in his dorm room there. And he's probably been asleep since we showed him yesterday.
It's time for him to wake up. We got a tie game. Come on, Griff.
So points off turnovers, a story here. Drake with 8, Loyola none. We've seen Loyola turn it over 5 times already.
Well, this Loyola team only averages around 12 turnovers per game. Drake, some pressure defense.
That's kicked out of bounds. This is a team, Loyola, that is very good on the road in the Valley. 22 league wins now after the victory yesterday in the last 4 seasons. And it's not even close in the Valley. They're with the most wins in that category.
Well, they're on a 7-game win streak on the road, Clay, and their numbers are astounding. They're holding teams to 50 points a game on the road.
Off the Williamson miss. Drake quickly in transition, and then it's turned over as Tremel Murphy has it taken away by Williamson.
Now Lucas Williamson gets back in the driving lane and sticks his paw out, able to get a loose ball. Turnover.
Uguak squares up for a 3 and hits it.
Well, he has not lacked for confidence to shoot the basketball day after he had 20 yesterday. Uguak, he's been an elite defender for 3 years or 2 years for Loyola as he transferred in from New Mexico. This year has really come out of his shell as a scorer.
And he's a well-traveled young man from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Like you said, started his college career in New Mexico and now in Chicago.
Yeah, played the same basketball as Ben Cricky from Valpo. They're both from Edmonton.
Another miss for Roman Penn. And so he has started out cool here today as well, 1 for 6. Marquise Kennedy a little out of control, quickly got it over to Krutwig, who has an and 1 opportunity. College basketball Tuesday, 7 Eastern, Michigan State heading to West Lafayette to take on number 24 Purdue. And it's the matchup of the night in the Big 12. Another Red River showdown, Texas and Oklahoma. The Sooners beating the Longhorns in a thriller earlier this year by 1 point in Austin. And how about Krutwig? He's starting to take over. And that's going to get Darren DeVries to get the officials' attention and call a timeout.
A lion!
Ah, yes, the king of the jungle. Time for a Red Bull.
Red Bull? Still, you'll never be faster than a lion.
I don't have to be quicker than the lion, just faster than you. Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome to Habanero Ranch, home of the fiery sauce.
Join us.
The new mouth-watering fiery famous star at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Feed your happy.
Now Porter Moser has to be happy with the last couple of moments here. 6:18 to go in the first half. Krutwig now starting to get his lather up. He's got 6.
A double-double yesterday with 10 and 10, but he affected the game more with his passing than his scoring. Today off to a fast start, some points on the board.
Drake trying to stop a 9-0 run for the Ramblers.
They're going to play their 2 quick guards together, Yesufu and Penn, trying to get penetration in the middle of this defense. You can see Loyola switching those ball screens on the perimeter.
Yesufu going inside to Brody. He'll swing it over to a wide-open Sturts, and he draws iron.
Sturts not known as a 3-point shooter. He does his work around the rim. So what Loyola's doing defensively, Clay, they're switching all the guard-to-guard 1 through 4 screens. And when the postman's involved, Brody, Krutwig drags off for a while. They're trying to get the mismatch. Loyola's not allowing it.
Another possession deep into the shot clock. Uguak for 3. Krutwig, another offensive rebound. Man, they're just dominating the glass on this end.
Well, Brody is not blocking out. He's turning and walking to the glass. And Krutwig is chasing down the loose ball.
Williamson, he's got a couple of threes. Off the heel this time. Penn coming back.
You see how quickly the white jerseys get back. Porter Moser says get back in airtime. When the ball's in the air being shot by the Bulldogs, he's got 3 guys already running back, getting their feet set.
Drake needs a good possession.
It's so hard to score in transition on Loyola. You have to be able to execute in your half court.
Brody to Murphy.
A really good defensive possession by the Ramblers. Got back in transition, stopped everything, went side to side.
Marquise Kennedy splits the defense.
Porter Moser calls Marquise Kennedy the fastest player he's ever coached. You can see that explosive first step.
Biggest lead of the game, it's 9, and finally Murphy, who swings in to stop the bleeding, gets another 2.
He was able to split the defenders, which has not happened for the Bulldogs early in this game. They've had trouble getting in the paint.
Murphy and Yesufu have scored the last 10 for Drake. Not getting much help. That's out of bounds, and it's going to go the other way. And we've got another timeout on the floor. Under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Loyola with a 7-point lead here in Des Moines.
Dr. Pepper and cream soda's here. A new combo that's music to my ears, okay. Let's play. Cream soda and Dr. Pepper time. The treat that treats you right. Pour it in a glass of wine.
Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
A delicious duet.
Welcome to Habanero Ranch, home of the fiery sauce.
Join us.
The new mouth-watering fiery famous star at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Feed your happy.
At Casper, we're delivering better sleep to homes everywhere. With the bed awarded Best Overall Mattress by U.S. News. Save up to 15% during the President's Day sale. In-store or at Casper.com.
This is star power from the jump.
This is the best of the how good is this kid?
Hey there, Michael Eaves here with Fonz and the coach. Coming up on the E-Trade halftime report, showing you what happened between Michigan and Wisconsin. But Fonz, right now, how about Loyola with another lead over Drake here early?
Yeah, Loyola is the most efficient defense in the Missouri Valley Conference. In order for Drake to have any chance to win this game, they've got to play ahead of the defense.
This Loyola team reminds me a little bit of Rick Majerus' St. Louis teams. Porter Moser was an assistant to him. Oh, by the way, Nikolai Jokic,
yeah,
to me, he reminds me of Cameron Craft, not the other way around. And don't at me.
All right, we'll send it back to Clay and Kevin. More on that in a moment.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. It's an 11-2 run for Drake. There you see Tank Hemphill. He's got that left leg wrapped up. He had surgery on Thursday, a broken foot. He's going to be out for a month, and boy, they could use him now.
Well, he is so good in transition. Also, he's one of those guys who can get to the rim. Drake is really struggling to get any penetration against this Loyola defense. You know, as Seth Greenberg mentioned in an earlier broadcast, they remind him of this Virginia, the way they squeeze down the passing lanes.
Brody, good manipulation of his body there to get it around Krutwig and score.
Old school up and under move by Brody.
He was twisting and turning. He had a team-high 12 yesterday, again limited to 19 minutes because of his foul trouble. The good news for Drake, he doesn't have any foul issues here today so far.
Great news for Drake because they're not doubling Brody in the block. They can keep going to him and let him put pressure on Krutwig. Oh, there's a mismatch.
Krutwig, finger roll, no finish, out of bounds.
Good battle by Murphy. He got caught on Krutwig on the switch. Went chest to chest with the big man.
Boy, Drake not happy with that call. They thought that was going to be their ball. 2:57 left.
Good look at Brody. the man from Seton Hall. He only played 3 games last year. He was injured at Seton Hall. 10 games the year before. He's really come on strong here for the Bulldogs. He's had 2 double-doubles for Drake, and they need him on the court.
We're going to see if this is going to be overturned. They're going to go over to the monitor and look at this out-of-bounds call. It was ruled last touch by Drake.
That looks like Krutwig's got his left paw on it. Yeah, I don't think they can review who's touched it last because there's the time on the clock. They're trying to see if the shot clock should be reset, Clay.
Oh, okay.
This is not a reviewable out-of-bounds play.
So it's a shot clock thing.
Yes, it's a shot clock is what we're looking at.
Raina Tilley, John Higgins, and Terry Oglesby, the officiating crew today.
At 2:57 left, they cannot review who touched it last. So we got 6 seconds on the shot clock. You say Raina Tilley and Jerry Oglesby there at the bench. There's John Higgins.
They're going to put 20 on the shot clock.
Well, they did rule it did touch the rim.
And Norris is going to trigger the inbound. 5-point lead for Loyola. Krutwig on pace for his 20th career double-double. Had one yesterday. He sets the screen for Norris. His 3 doesn't go. And Brody climbs up and gets another rebound.
I like what I'm seeing from Darnell Brody for the Bulldogs. He's been aggressive at both ends of the court. Look at this defense now. They've got Drake pushed out. There we go.
Penn. Oh, man, it's just been tough for him to finish at the rim in this series.
Well, he gets in there. He's limping a little bit now. If you look at number 12 in blue, ran up court with a little bit of a limp. Hope he's okay.
Off the miss from Clemens.
This is what Loyola excels at. See the ball, the switch on the screen right there.
And Penn draws the contact.
What Penn excels at, Clay, is he gets you on the hip off a screen, but Loyola keeps switching those screens, not allowing the Penn to get into that penetration and get you on his hip where he can score at mid-range.
So Roman Penn goes to the line, 1 for 7 from the field. He's got 2 points.
Well, he hit 2 yesterday, and one of those was a lob pass, if you remember, that actually went in the rim. That was one of his made field goals, an aborted lob. You need him to loosen up and get some points on the board.
Well, Porter Moser said that Roman Penn could not take control this weekend, and his Ramblers have done a great job limiting him, especially from the field. He gets those at the free throw line to cut it to 3, and it's a 6-0 run by Drake after trailing by as many as 9.
Loyola has 2 elite defenders, Williamson and Uguak, and they both have tremendous size. They're using that against Penn.
Hall, good pass to Uguak, and he has been fantastic in the paint in this series.
Where he's improved tremendously, Uguak, his ability to finish in traffic. Porter Moser, they work on it every day. Finish with contact. Uguak becoming an elite scorer now in the Valley.
Wilkins from inside the 3-point line, and maybe that's the key for Wilkins, getting a little closer and loosen up.
Well, ball screen just got just enough room to lift and finish.
Wilkins brought roses to his mother this morning as a Valentine's surprise at her hotel. And Drake is within a basket as Loyola needs a timeout with 1:20 to go here in the half.
A nice run by Drake after this basket here by the Ramblers. And this is Hall with a wraparound. Uguak with the finish. Look at the hands up by Uguak. Hands up, power bounce, square your shoulders, finish in traffic.
Now it's a special NBA Sunday doubleheader for you tonight on ESPN. The Blazers starting a 3-game road trip against Luka and the Mavs, who've won 3 in a row. It's 7:30 Eastern. Then the Lakers have won 6 straight.
Clay, did you see Luka had
the Nuggets
46? He had 46 against the Pelicans.
It's a Valentine's Day doubleheader starting at 7 Eastern with the jump. And there's another Loyola turnover.
DJ Wilkins. Kennedy tried to spin it. Wilkins came over. Brody was tempted. He was tempted to take that elbow jumper.
3 ball. Off the lip for Wilkins. And it's going to belong to Loyola. That's a foul on Roman Penn. Again, foul trouble not really an issue for either team here in the first half. That was certainly a big storyline yesterday. But Penn is going to come out of the game right now for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Brody picked up 3 in the first half, and Wilkins sat a lot in the first half as he picked up 2. I think that foul issue wore him more in the second half, Clay, as they were able to fight through it in the first half. But mentally, that was a big issue in the second half.
E-Trade halftime report coming up momentarily. Hall rolling around, and he draws the foul. Almost got that shot to fall. Hall will go to the free throw line.
Well, we talked about this great bench production of Loyola. Hall was a starter earlier. They start bringing him off the bench. He's been aggressive on those last 2 drives. He had the wraparound pass to Uguak. That time he puts it on the deck, draws the contact on the bounce. It's going to be underneath the basket.
That is going to be an out of bounds. Clayton Custer's.
There's our guy. He's in charge of blobs and slobs. You
what
know
what
those are, Clay?
No, I look at one in the mirror.
Slobs are sideline out of bounds, and blobs are baseline out of bounds. As Porter Moser said, what do you call them? I said, baseline out of bounds. He calls them slobs and blobs. He thinks it sounds much better. And Clayton Custer, 2018 Player of the Year in the Valley, is on the staff now. He's in charge of slobs and blobs for the Ramblers.
Shot clock is off, so they're looking for the final shot. Roman Penn can take it. They can tie it with a 3. They go inside to Brody. And that's going to be called a jump ball. Possession arrow will keep it with Drake with 0.8 to go in the half.
Well, they're able to drag Krutwig off on the ball screen, but good recovery. Brody couldn't get it up in time. That's going to be a lot play. This is another time that if you had Tank Hemphill, you could throw it up by the rim and let him go get it. I jumped 6'11" in high school, but he is on the bench with a foot in a cast.
Tom Welch checks in to run the baseline defense.
Watch for Samaka on this one.
Penn trying to find somebody to get it to. It's Yesufu. It's blocked at the horn. And Loyola's going to have a 3-point lead at the half. Trying to get the sweep here in Des Moines. Coming up now, the E-Trade halftime report. Michael Eaves, Seth Greenberg, and LaFonso Ellis.
Clay, Kevin, thanks so much. And you are watching the E-Trade halftime report. One of the marquee games of the day, Michigan ranked 3rd, taking on number 21 Wisconsin Wolverines. First game in 23 days, and maybe some rust early because the Badgers had a 14-point lead at one point. Brad Davidson knocks down a jumper there. And then Jonathan Davis, where are you at? Getting the highlights, son. He had 11 points in this game. It was 51-44 at this point, Seth, but all of a sudden Michigan woke up and they got on a roll.
It takes time to settle into a game, especially been off that long a period of time. They were terrific defensively in the second half, holding Wisconsin to 1 for 12 from the three-point line. Then offensively, this is a team that has great trust. Isaiah Livers was absolutely phenomenal, and Hunter Dickinson now coming back. He struggled coming into that pause. He was terrific today on the glass. Rebounded the basketball, protected the front of the rim.
67-59 was the final. Michigan still with just 1 loss on the season. And Fonzie, you take a look at what Michigan did in this game, especially considering how long they were off. What stood out to you the most?
Yeah. What stood out the most to me was in the second half on all of their exchanges, whether it be dribble handoffs, whether it be ball screen situations, they were looking to get into the painted area. Oftentimes they were able to get all the way to the rim. When they were drawing to, they were kicking. In the first half, I thought they settled too much for the jump shot, but as Seth said earlier, I think it took them a little while to settle into the game, and they began to really attack in the second half, and I thought that made the difference for them on the offensive end.
And Seth, you missed 3 weeks and you only have 6 turnovers for Juwan Howard's squad.
You take care of the basketball. And hard things, you got to remember, his last 3 games, he averaged about 6 points a game. He was turning it over 4 times a game. Today, 15 rebounds, 5 blocks, really did a nice job in the paint. And then everyone around him. The great thing about this Michigan team is that everyone plays to their strengths. Now, for Wisconsin, there is still an issue. I said that before. Fonz, I think, agrees with me. Think about this. Reavers and Potter. You had as many rebounds as those 2 dudes because neither one of them got a rebound in the basketball
Well, that's
game.
a bad sign. There's no question about that.
And so for Wisconsin to kind of reboot, they've got to be more committed defensively. They weren't in the second half. Same problem they had in their losses. They were giving up 81 points a game, but more importantly, letting people score 1.10 points per possession, which is bottom third. And then one of those big guys has got to step up and make a play. I love the Davis kid as a freshman, though. He's going to be special.
Yeah, so Michigan beat Wisconsin twice in the same season for the first time in 22 years. But speaking of the Big Ten, let's check in on Penn State and Nebraska. Early action in the first half. Miles Dredd knocking down threes. That's always a good sign. So it's an early advantage for the Lions. And then Seth Lundy also speaking from the three-point line here, Fonz.
Yeah, Seth Lundy, he's one of those guys that can do a lot of everything out there on the floor. When he's knocking down threes, Penn State is tough to beat. But for Nebraska, Teddy Allen and Kobe Webster have been dynamic. 10 points apiece for those 2 guys in the first half.
Now, it wasn't all threes in this game on the highlight. Yeah, let's go inside. Nebraska up and off the basket and won 35-35 right now at the half. We'll keep you updated on that one. And Marquette taking on Seton Hall. Tyrese Samuel giving the Pirates a 4-point lead early on in this game, Seth. What do you think about this matchup?
Well, the thing about this Seton Hall team, they dominated the paint, 18 points in the paint, and the guy to drop that dime is Fonz's favorite player, Sandro Mamu-Kelishvili. If you're a Kelishvili, Fonz likes you. This is a huge game for Seton Hall. They want to stay alive, to have a chance to make an NCAA bid. They have to do that. Rodin and Mamu-Kelishvili must play well for them.
26-20 at the half right now. Seton Hall leads it. When we return, big game coming up on Monday. Florida State, Virginia. We'll dive into that when the E-Trade halftime report continues.
This halftime report is presented by E-Trade. Get more than just trading with E-Trade. Investing, banking, guidance.
Research shows that people remember commercials with exciting stunts. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's something you shouldn't try at home. Insurance is cool. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
A lion! Ah, yes, the king of the jungle. Time for a Red Bull. Red Bull? Still, you'll never be faster than a lion. I don't have to be quicker than the lion, just faster than you. Red Bull gives you wings.
We make it easy for you. You can do your taxes virtually. Snap a pic and leave the rest to me. We make it easy. Experts on your phone. You don't have to leave home. In person or virtually. Bob has your back.
Oh, it's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Shareholders are very happy.
Oh, it's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Someday I'll ask you a question that will change me forever.
If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting.
Start your someday with a ring from the Neil Lane collection. Available at Kay.
Crispy, juicy, hand-breaded chicken. Crispy, juicy, hand-breaded chicken. Crispy, zesty, fiery sauce. Crispy, zesty, fiery sauce.
Hand-breaded chicken tenders with new fiery sauce at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Feed your happy.
You might see them as just flowers, but here, they're more than that.
Georgia.
They're an enduring symbol.
Georgia.
And this April, the azaleas are back at the Masters.
You've got big plans for your small business. And Constant Contact has everything you need to connect with customers, find new ones, and sell more of your awesome stuff online. With email marketing, online stores, and more to help you do more business anytime, anywhere. So you can keep powering on without slowing down. Up top, power on with Constant Contact. Try it free today.
It was never about the gold. It was always about the goals. And I didn't reach him just by training my body, but my mind as well. So close your eyes. Visualize all the ways you could break through. Then, imagine everything that could go wrong. A false start, a bad turn, broken goggles. Now picture yourself staying calm and overcoming every obstacle. Open your eyes. Train what's under the armor.
You're watching the E-Trade Halftime Report.
All right, what to watch for on Monday, ACC Clash, number 9, Virginia visiting number 17, Florida State. You'll see it 7 Eastern on ESPN. Fonz, we talk so much about Virginia's defense. What about Florida State?
Yeah, Florida State's got to make Kihei Clark a scorer by placing a taller defender on him and staying home on Hauser, Huff, and Murphy, all who shoot more than 44% from three. Teams have a tendency to kind of allow him to get into the painted area and either pass it or score it. I'd like to see Scotty Barnes at 6'9" stay with him and force him to have to shoot over the top of his length to stay at home on those terrific Virginia shooters. And they got to be able to play ahead of that defense, one of the toughest defenses in the ACC.
I agree with you, Fonz. I think a big thing is FSU struggled against Wake Forest sitting in the stance coming off the pause. You got to remember, now, this is a team that forces a turnover 20% of their possessions. Here's the deal. Will the bigs of Florida State be able to defend the bigs of Virginia? The bigs of Virginia, think about the Virginia offense. They invert their offense. Jay Huff shooting over 40 from the three. Sam Hauser shooting over 40 from the three. So those bigs from Florida State must be able to go out on the floor and defend. That would be a key matchup in this game.
Yeah, top 2 teams in the ACC doing battle Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. But our game right now between Loyola Chicago and Drake, it's a 3-point advantage for Loyola. But Tremel Murphy and the Bulldogs, maybe they got to run him in the second half. They're down 3 here at the break.
Gronk.
What up, TB?
What do you think my next move should be?
I got one word for you. Retirement. Tamp down the stress and amp up the relaxation, baby. Retirement is like winning another championship. Maybe I'll even join you. If you retire now, you're gonna be walking on soft sand in a week.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
Tampa Bay and win another championship.
Tampa Bay?
Maybe I'll even join you. If you retire now, you're soft and weak. Go to Tampa Bay, win another championship.
Like it's that easy, Gronk. Maybe it is. And my goal is to bring a championship to Tampa Bay. And Gronk's coming with me.
Mom, where are my football pants?
Don't trust big decisions to just any network. Go with T-Mobile, the GOAT in 5G.
And I'm not soft or weak either.
T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
In my $5 Build Your Own Cravings box. But you already know what you want from Taco Bell. You always have. So don't eat like me. Eat like you.
It's the $5 Build Your Own Cravings box. Only online or with the Taco Bell app.
Oh, great. The show's starting.
Come on. Just trust me. Oh, trust you, like with the dollar oysters.
I don't think those were oysters.
You survived, so... Wait, we can't go that way. Watch this. They'll think we're VIP.
Wow. He does think we're VIP.
And backstage. Trust me now?
I never doubted you.
I did for a second, but it's gone now. I trust you.
The all-new Sienna. Toyota. Let's go places.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now, there's Skyrizi.
Things are getting clearer, yeah, I feel free to bare my skin, yeah, that's on me. Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is everything.
Keep your skin clearer with Skyrizi. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clear skin at 4 months. Of those, nearly 9 out of 10 sustained it through 1 year. And Skyrizi is 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
I see nothing in a different way, and it's my moment, so I just gotta say, nothing is everything.
Skyrizi may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or coughs, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Now is the time to ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi.
This halftime report is presented by E-Trade. Get more than just trading with E-Trade. Investing, banking, guidance.
Loyola beat Drake by 27 on Saturday, but just a 3-point advantage here at the break. This has been the E-Trade halftime report.
Okay, Limu, you said it. Then as I spike it, I'll tell them how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so they only pay for what they need. Got it? Did you get that?
Only. Oh, it's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Shareholders are very happy.
It's your thing.
Punishing what Porter Moser's team has done.
That averages 50 points a game for their opponents. On the road, they have been better on the road than at home. And their field goal percentage defense at 37%. Stifling is the word you use, Clay. Amazing.
And it's their defense that really ignites their offense.
Well, this is the type of pace that Loyola wants. This is a Drake team that came into this series averaging 81 points a game. They got 22 at half. And he cannot get this up-tempo.
Garrett Sturts off the mark. It's tipped out of bounds. It's going to stay with Drake, which was led by Terrell Murphy in that first half with 8 points. But outside the arc, they have really struggled since the first half yesterday. They were 0 for 9 from 3 in the first half here today. They haven't hit a 3, like I said, since game 1's first half. And they only had 1 assist here today in the first 20 minutes, KO.
And you got to credit Loyola's defense. They've got that great length on the perimeter with Lucas Williamson and here Uguak.
Gonna try another 3 here with Wilkins. Finally, after 10 misses to start the game, DJ Wilkins hits his first 3 of the weekend.
A big fist pump from Darren DeVries as that ball settles through the net.
And it's a 1-point game.
DeVries trying to get his team up the defensive pressure.
So much pressure on this Drake team, really. First quad 1 opponent this season. Their net has dropped to 40, a 10-point slide after yesterday's loss. Uguak caught it. Good adjustment. And another bank off the window.
A great play by Uguak. He caught in the air and ball faked, pump faked the shot and came down. Got his feet underneath him and finished strong. He has been terrific in this series scoring the basketball.
He's got 9.
20 yesterday and just 12 field goal attempts. We're here, Uguak.
Now Wilkins finding some new confidence, trying to get that runner. Now Loyola back the other way. Braden Norris, no points today. The point guard will get it to the postman Krutwig.
Norris is controlling the tempo for this Loyola team.
And tie it with a 3.
Yeah, Drake's down 3, but this feels like they're down 10. As this is such a slow-paced game. They're struggling to get baskets. But still within striking distance. They cannot let Loyola get a run.
There's Darren DeVries, 3rd-year head coach at Drake, just 45 years old. He's an Iowa native. Played in the Missouri Valley Conference in Northern Iowa, has been masterful at turning this program around in a short time. Roman Penn. Fans wanted a foul. He got his own miss. Drops it inside to Brody, and they're going to call that foul on the floor.
Now that's what Drake does. He gets the middle penetration, the bounce pass underneath the hands. Brody with the catch.
but this is going to be a ball out of bounds. Again, this is in Clayton Custer's wheelhouse. He has to be able to defend these Drake OBs.
Roman Penny has been quiet offensively, but he's the general of this offense. And again, that one rattles off. It has just been a disastrous shooting weekend for Roman Penn.
Well, they ball screen, and he gets rid of Uguak, but comes upon 6'4" Williamson.
There's Keith Clemens, a senior from Norcross, Georgia, making it a 6-point lead for Loyola.
He's been the silent assassin for the Ramblers. Keith Clemens.
Wilkins got it and one. Chance for 3 for DJ at the line.
The Bulldogs just keep hanging around. They're trying to stop Loyola from getting any separation.
DJ Wilkins, like this entire Drake team, kind of cooled off since the COVID shutdown. That 3 moments ago here in the half has sparked him, and he completes the 3-point play. As you look at Tank Hemphill, the leading scorer for the Bulldogs, he'll be out for the next 4 weeks with a broken foot.
DJ Wilkins, Hemphill, along with Murphy, all from that region of Northwest Indiana. And they played together for Marty Richter, the assistant at Florida Southwestern.
Yeah, it's a tight group. You can see the details on Hemphill's season. Certainly candidate for newcomer of the year, the transfer from Green Bay.
Well, they really miss him, Clay, is on the front of that press. He's 6'6", long wingspan, really is disruptive.
It's an empty possession for Loyola. A chance for Drake to tie this game up with a triple. But again, 3-point shooting has not been sharp this weekend. Brody lost it at his feet. Here comes Uguak the other way. 4 minutes gone by here in the second half.
Look for Loyola to play side to side, go deep in the shot clock on this one.
Everybody getting a touch.
There's the man they want to get it to.
Krutwig, a little strong off the window. That was pretty good defense by Brody.
Yeah, Krutwig had him hooked. Got around and threw it over the other side of the rim. It's a good battle between these two bigs.
But you can tell Brody is being more cautious without losing his aggressiveness.
Yeah, he's confident at the offensive end, even though he turned over the last possession. This guy's getting some confidence. He needs to make some. Wilkins.
Good outlet, Krutwig to Williamson, but he's going to slow it up. Krut attacks again, and the same result. Just rolled it off the side of the rim.
Brody's meeting him, giving some resistance.
Trying to get the putback, Tremel Murphy, and he is thrown down hard to the deck. A foul against Loyola with 14:56 to go. That's 31-28 Loyola.
It's NBA on ABC time. Heat, Lakers, Celtics, Pelicans on ABC.
Romulus, your city will be finished in just one day.
Finished? My Colosseum, they'll never finish it today.
Unfortunately, we ran out of Red Bull. Huh, so that's why Rome wasn't built in a day.
For every trip you've been dreaming of, Expedia has millions of flexible booking options. Because the best trip is wherever we go together.
Crispy, juicy, hand-breaded chicken. Crispy, juicy, hand-breaded chicken. Crispy, zesty, fiery sauce. Crispy, zesty, fiery sauce.
Hand-breaded chicken tenders with new fiery sauce at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Feed your happy.
When you want to buy this place, But first, you have to sell this place. Zillow Offers makes it easy. Get a no-obligation cash offer for your home. No showings, home prep, or hassle. Request your offer today at Zillow.com/offers.
Old Trapper Beefs. Fancy flavors.
Hey, want a snack?
What is that, rhubarb?
I trusted you.
Oh, much better.
Old Trapper. What's your beef?
My grandfather gave me this necklace after my grandmother passed away. It carries that spirit of loving people with all that you have. It's my superpower.
Introducing the Closer Together collection, inspired by your extraordinary love stories. Jared, love brilliantly.
Drake's down 3. You can see the sequence here. This is what they normally do on offense. Dribble handoff. Norris, bad communication, doesn't switch. Murphy gets penetration all the way into the middle of the lane. They got Brody in the short corner. Now, I know Murphy misfires, but that is what Drake's offense is meant to do. Loyola's been switching and taking that dribble drive to the nail away.
He's Kevin Lehman. I'm Clay Matvick here in Des Moines. It has been an emotional couple of days here. So much riding, not only in the Missouri Valley, but for these teams in their postseason futures. Certainly Loyola in better shape than Drake. We talked about it before, Kevin. This is almost a must-win for the Bulldogs today to stay alive as an at-large in the NCAA tournament picture.
And we saw their net drop from 30 to 40. The loss yesterday. This is another quad one opponent in Loyola that they can get that net number back where they like it.
And I'm sure Drake likes this. They're within 1 now. Remember yesterday, Kevin, this was the point of the game where Loyola had basically run away and started to hide. It was starting to get out of hand by this point in the second half yesterday.
Much better focus here in the second half for this Drake team. They're starting to get some penetration offensively. And they've been on the glass, Clay. 7 rebounds for Drake in this second half. Loyola just 3 in the first half. The Ramblers dominated the glass.
Another possession deep into the clock, and Williamson hits it with 2 on the shot clock.
They are so patient. Clocks in their head. They do not get rushed when that shot clock gets to 7.
And that's what you expect from a veteran team, and especially a guy like Williamson, a Final Four vet, just like Cameron Krutwig on that 2018 team.
And Clay, you know what else it does? It makes a team that wants to run, which is Drake, play defense for 28, 30 seconds deep in that shot clock.
That's a block by Welch. He is giving Loyola good minutes off the bench.
Always does. I like to use him on that pick and pop. And Welch likes to screen and step back, or use Krutwig to screen and roll.
It's a travel on Marquise Kennedy. Kind of bobbled the pass. It's another turnover for Loyola. We saw a lot of turnovers early yesterday. Porter Moser's team cleaned them up as the game went on. We saw quite a few in the first half here again today, and there's one on Kennedy.
And Porter always talks about turnovers by commission, where you're trying to make something happen, versus omission, a term he got from Rick Majerus, his mentor, when he worked for him in St. Louis. That was a turnover by omission.
Issa Samaka in the game for Drake. He feeds Yesufu, who misses from 3, and it's still a situation where the Bulldogs can't find the range from outside. They are 1 of 13.
But shooting that bad play, down 3. Only down 1 possession here.
Off the miss from Welch. Roman Penn wants to run, and he's fouled.
The Penn trying to push the action, Loyola back. Loyola's so good with quick hands at closing those pass lanes. That time, though, a foul call. But I like what Penn's doing. He's trying to stay aggressive with his team, get this game at a tempo and speed that the Bulldogs like. See if they can turn the corner again.
First foul on Kennedy, the 5th on Loyola already. And now Uguak diving down to the floor, comes up with it.
Uguak smelled that one out, has his hands low in the passing lane. Loyola playing with 3 bench players. Because once again, Porter Moser sits Krutwig when Brody sits for Drake.
Norris for 3, spins off. Still no points for Braden Norris. And Krutwig got a lot of rest yesterday because Brody was in so much foul trouble early. And there's Tremel Murphy with the deuce.
Again, they turned the corner, got that penetration. Drake starting to get in the paint. There, and DeVries excited about it.
They're within 1. Full court pressure, and now Penn will relax a little bit.
Find some cracks in that Loyola defense. They probed and probed. They're finally getting the corner turned.
It's a 7-2 Drake run. Uguak spinning. Back out for Welch. They find Hall on the wing. And here come the Bulldogs with a chance to take the lead. They haven't led since it was 10-8. Yesufu. Not this time.
Pace picking up. This is what the Bulldogs want.
And you get the feeling here that Porter Moser can't have Krutwig on the bench too much longer.
Same thought, Clay. How long is he going to go with the big man on the bench?
Norris probing, under 10 to shoot. Wow, Braden Norris with a clutch basket. He hasn't had a great weekend shooting-wise. We've seen him have good games this year. Hasn't been a great weekend for him, but that was huge. And Drake calls a timeout with 10:54 to go. And the lead back to 3 for Loyola.
Well, Norris has a great pace and some space to his game. And Porter Moser says, I trust this kid. He's a coach's son. That's a big bucket.
Romulus, your city will be finished in just 1 day.
Finished? My Colosseum, they'll never finish it today.
Unfortunately, we ran out of Red Bull. Huh, so that's why Rome wasn't built in a day.
I'm supposed to tell you what's in my $5 Build Your Own Cravings box. But you already know what you want from Taco Bell. You always have. So don't eat like me. Eat like you.
It's the $5 Build Your Own Cravings box. Only online or with the Taco Bell app.
Gronk,
What up, TB?
what do you think my next move should be?
I got one word for you. Retirement. Tamp down the stress and amp up the relaxation, baby. Retirement is like winning another championship. Maybe I'll even join you. If you retire now, you're gonna be walking on soft sand in a week.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
Tampa Bay and win another championship.
Tampa Bay?
Maybe I'll even join you. If you retire now, you're soft and weak. Go to Tampa Bay, win another championship.
Like it's that easy, Gronk. Maybe it is. And my goal is to bring a championship to Tampa Bay. And Gronk's coming with me.
Mom, where are my football pants?
Don't trust big decisions to just any network. Go with T-Mobile, the GOAT in 5G.
And I'm not soft or weak either.
T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
An all-Mexico showdown.
You can run, but you just can't hide.
Miguel Burchell.
He's the devil, but he's in disguise.
Oscar Valdez.
Change your name and reign. They won't know
This is about heart. This is about passion.
right hand.
You want must-see TV? Look no further.
Good big Monday doubleheader for you. We have number 9 Virginia squaring off against number 17 Florida State at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Then we're going to head to the Big 12 for 7th-ranked Texas Tech and TCU. So you're going to be able to see 3 of the seeds that are in the top 5 according to Joe Lunardi. Virginia, Florida State, and Texas Tech. All right, Kevin Lehman. Drake only shooting 25% here in the second half, but it's a tight game.
They're 1 for 14. They're only down 3 points. You got to feel pretty good about this because they're not going to shoot this poorly and find some cracks in this Loyola defense. Krutwig back in.
Yeah, 1 for 14 from 3. And they're down 3. Yesufu driving, 2 on the shot clock. The floater, no good. And Krutwig with another rebound for Cameron Krutwig. He's got 7 points and 11 rebounds.
Again, I like what Yesufu did. He got the ball into the nail. They struggled early in this game to get that dribble drive going.
Krutwig well rested. Plenty of time on the bench. Let's see if they can find him. Find the shoot.
Mismatch inside.
And he found it. And now Brody. Krutwig gets the roll.
Again, deep into the shot clock. Great patience by the Ramblers.
Point shy of another double-double. He had one yesterday.
That's demoralizing to your defense. You play defense for that long. How many times have Loyola gone, that thing got under 3 seconds and scored against this Drake Bulldog defense?
Roman Penn, can he find the touch? No. And he is now 1 for 10 from the field. 9:25 to go. Loyola trying to pad the lead. It's 5. They've led by as many as 9. Williamson trying to bounce it into Krutwig, and it's kicked. And we get a timeout with 9:16 to go.
Now here's the big man. He can score, pass, and rebound. Look at the shot clock. 2-1. Gets it up on the rim. It drops through. The Ramblers are up by a nickel.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Oh, my easy mountain. Oh, my.
Truth is, it's a cold, fast, crazy world out there. If you know the right places to go.
You've been on my mind.
Right now, get 0% financing for 72 months on select 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee models.
Welcome to Habanero Ranch, home of the fiery sauce.
Join us.
The new mouth-watering fiery famous star at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Feed your happy.
At Casper, we're delivering better sleep to homes everywhere. With the bed awarded Best Overall Mattress by U.S. News. Save up to 15% during the President's Day sale. In-store or at Casper.com.
Well, 2018, Loyola went to the Final Four in San Antonio. You look at this team compared to that team, and the numbers pretty similar, Kevin.
Well, lots of comparison, and Cameron Krutwig, Lucas Williamson said, this team is better. We got more depth, got more experience. And his Porter Moses says they have to say that because they were freshmen on that team. But this guy argues about that. Clayton Custer is still saying that team in 2018 was the better team, along with his teammate Marcus Towns. They're not believers.
5-point lead, make it 7.
Nerves of steel. That kid is cold-blooded. Norris. He's controlling the offensive tempo for the Ramblers.
Loyola trying to run that winning streak to 12. They're 13-1 in the Valley, their best league start in 36 years, and they've got big aspirations for the postseason, trying to complete the sweep today. Brody out of control, and that's a Drake turnover. And they can afford very few of those down the stretch here, Kevin. You can't have too many empty possessions. Williamson. And the lead is 9. Look at that pass from Krutwig.
Best passing big man in the country, Cameron Krutwig.
It's an 8-0 run. Wilkinson, they need this 3. spins in and out.
And that one tasted all of the 10 before it popped out.
A 43% three-point shooter. He has hit a total of 1 the entire weekend. Good drive by Hall. Krutwig got the miss, and he'll get to the line. That's a foul on Brody.
Well, we've talked about Krutwig scoring points, rebounding, but this is what he does best. He plays what we call the funnel in that middle lane. A point center as Williamson scores.
A lion! Ah, yes, the king of the jungle. Time for a Red Bull. Red Bull? Still, you'll never be faster than a lion. I don't have to be quicker than the lion, just faster than you. Red Bull gives you wings.
Now with Taco Bell's app, you can build your own $5 cravings box. Because you know what you crave at Taco Bell. So eat like you. Build your own $5 cravings box today, only online or with the Taco Bell app.
This is star power from the jump.
This is the best of the how good is this kid?
Melbourne, Australia, where a legend can pursue 24, where a Spaniard can rewrite the record books, where anything is possible. The Australian Open continues through February 21st on ESPN.
There's an easier way to bring hockey home. And these days, home is one of the best places you can be watching NHL Center Ice.
Spectacular. Are you kidding me?
Because every night, NHL Center Ice brings you the best hockey action across the league with all the comforts of home. Paired with NHL Network, you'll get up to 40 games a week live from the best seat in your house. Order NHL Center Ice on DirecTV and don't miss this special winter price. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or visit directv.com/NHL.
At touchofmodern.com, we always surprise, excite, inspire, because our expertly curated products are never ordinary, never mundane, and never in a million years what you'd expect to see or imagined you'd ever have. Here's to the thrill of discovering the next exceptional and unexpected product. Check it all out at touchofmodern.com.
Krutwig at the line with 7:44 to go. It's danger time for Drake, down 9. Tuesday at 7 Eastern, 10-7 Michigan State heading west. Take on 24 Purdue. Then it's the matchup of the night in the Big 12. Another Red River showdown. Number 13, Texas squaring off against Oklahoma in Norman. The Sooners beating the Longhorns in that thriller in January. 41-32 Loyola with the lead, and Krutwig with a free throw can get another double-double. And it jinxed him.
He did, and there's a good look at the mustache. Krutwig grew during COVID. It has its own Twitter account. He was going to shave it off, Clay, but he said there was an eruption in the locker room. His teammates refused to let him shave off that mustache, especially since they're on this win streak. Multi-talented man there. He can pass, he can shoot,
Be honest,
he can dribble, and he can also play the harmonica.
Yeah. The mustache doesn't get in the way of that?
He said his teammate Will Alcock says you cannot shave it off.
And now Brody's going to go to the line trying to stop a 9-0 run by Loyola. I got to be honest with you, I don't think it's a great look. I think he's having some fun with it,
but you got to think back to that 2018 Final Four team. He had the mutton chop sideburns.
Yeah.
So now he's going with the stash on this Rambler team.
He is, I think I called him a Renaissance man yesterday. Certainly an old soul, likes old music and likes history and big-time sports fan other than basketball, and he's just a fun guy to talk to and be around.
Well, my favorite story, you know, he's a big Bears fan, so when Porter Moser had a Sunday practice, he would go and ask Porter Moser to change the time so he could watch the Bears. He was afraid to do it as a freshman, but once he got older, he did it. Ooh, Porter's nothing like that one.
Stealing it away. Wilkins for 3, yes!
Ooh, that gets the Bulldog faithful on their feet. Costly turnover by Krutwig.
And Porter Moser says, I'm going to call a timeout now and nip this in the bud. It's back to a 6-point game with 7:12 to go. DJ Wilkins has been cool throughout the weekend, but he's got 2 threes here in the second half.
Well, he's a big-time three-point shooter. Struggled yesterday. Wilkins, in the last 3 seasons, over 158 three balls.
This is a Drake team that was picked 7th in the Valley, have certainly overachieved, got out to that 18-0 start, but they've lost 2 of their last 3, and their leading scorer, Tank Hemphill, in the last 7 days, trying to salvage a split here in this huge weekend with Loyola.
And you see on your screen, bracketology, Joe Lenardi moved Drake down a line for that loss yesterday. And that is what Drake wants to do. Get turnovers, get threes in transition. That was a concerning. They got another one there.
Now the officials are going to talk about it. Yeah, it belongs to Drake.
That was Porter Moser's biggest concern, turning the basketball over. There, quick hands by Penn off Uguak.
Yeah, as Uguak was falling out of bounds, his left hand came back and hit the ball. 11 points off turnovers for these Drake Bulldogs today compared to the 5 for Loyola. That has been an advantage for Drake this afternoon.
Yeah, a change from yesterday's game. Able to force some live ball turnovers and get some points.
4 on the shot clock. Penn. No, and Norris will secure the rebound. That was an opportunity missed for Drake.
Floated by Penn, didn't have his shoulders squared. We'll run this offense through Krutwig in the high post.
Williamson finds a seam, hands off to Krutwig, lost it. Yesufu comes away, gets it to Penn. Under 6.5 to go.
Good recovery by Braden Norris. Wilkins had a quick look at it.
Skip pass, Yesufu wide open, missed everything. Uguak down on the floor, but it's tipped back out to Brody. And Drake can reset. Penn attacks and scores.
Strong move by Penn. That time he got his shoulders squared up. His body in the defender got up on the window.
First points of the second half for Roman Penn. And the lead has been cut to 4. And that's a reach-in foul on Wilkins. Now the defense has led to offense for Drake.
That's the way they played all year. Quick hands in here. There's Williamson. Yesufu drops down, gets in the fray, and comes up with the basketball. And now it's Roman Penn pushing it down the court. Penn has been everywhere. Now the strong finish.
Norris misses the 3. And Marquise Kennedy will track it down. It didn't draw the rim. Not a lot of time on the shot clock. 5 to shoot. Williamson, his triple, in and out. And here comes Drake, down 4, 5:20 to play.
He's got another ball screen.
That's a Williamson foul. And he's going to argue with the official. Falling on deaf ears. John Higgins having none of it.
Well, if it's a guard-to-guard or 1-through-4 screen up top, they're switching it. But now they're using Brody up there. Williamson trying to fight through. Didn't like the call.
Yeah, that's second personal on Williamson. He's going to come out of the game. Now the officials are going to go over to Porter Moser. And is this a 1-and-1 opportunity, Mike? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's the 7th team foul on Loyola.
Not exactly sure what the officials were looking at.
Well, I think they're checking to see who's going to be at the free throw line, because Penn was trying to sneak up there, but it's going to be Brody.
Right.
So it was the question, did Williamson foul Brody trying to fight with that screen, or did he bump into Penn? Good move by the officials, because I think Roman Penn was going to try and get himself at the free throw line. Brody able to cash in.
First point of the second half for Darnell Brody. He's got 5. He had 12 yesterday. The 6'10" junior from Newark, New Jersey, in his first year with Drake, and got them both. Big makes for the big man, and Drake is down a deuce.
Also lets Drake set the press.
It's an 8-0 run. Loyola. How do they respond?
Norris controlled the tempo.
Ten on the shot clock. Hall. Kennedy for 3. Hall the rebound, and he's fouled over the back. And Yesufu is going to pick up another one. That's his second. And the 5th team foul on Drake. Under 5 to play.
20 seconds on the shot clock, so watch Drake. Little ball screen again. Krutwig wants the ball inside.
2 on the shot clock. Step back. Uguak. Line drive shot. Hall, another offensive rebound. Loyola has done an admirable job on the glass today.
They've been attacking the window. That's one thing Drake was known to do. It's been Loyola on the offensive glass here in the second half.
Norris caught in deep. Back to Uguak trailing.
Norris, eyes in the back of his head. Uguak curled down right down the pipe, down Main Street. Uguak 6'7", long arms.
He's in double figures again. He's been one of the best players the last few weeks for Loyola. There's a foul on the Ramblers as we step aside. 3:42 to play. Studio update on the other side of this break. It's a 4-point lead for Loyola.
Did you know you can go to libertymutual.com to customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need?
Really? I had to... Okay, I'm on vibrate.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Oh, it's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Shareholders are very happy.
Oh, it's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Their love keeps you centered. This Valentine's Day, tell them with a gift from the Center of Me collection. Exclusively at K.
Dr. Pepper and cream soda's here.
A new combo that's music to my ears, okay.
Let's play. Cream soda and Dr. Pepper time. The treat that treats you right. Pour it in a glass of wine.
Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
A delicious duet.
Crispy, juicy, hand-breaded chicken. Crispy, juicy, hand-breaded chicken. Crispy, zesty, fiery sauce. Crispy, zesty, fiery sauce.
Hand-breaded chicken tenders with new fiery sauce at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Feed your happy.
Coming up top of the hour, D.D. Richards at number 7, Baylor hosting Texas. Baylor's won 7 straight games and blowing out opponents by 23 points a game during that span. Texas has lost 8 straight to Baylor. Rivalry renewed. Send it back to Clay and Kevin.
Decide this thing late.
It's going to be the ability for Drake to get that penetration into the painted area and make plays. Lucas Williamson back in the game. They use him on pin. Any ball switch, Uguak switch on him. His size has given some problems to Roman Pin, but you got DJ Wilkins at the free throw line.
11 points for Wilkins. He's had 9 here in the second half. Another missed opportunity for Drake.
Pulled the string on that one.
There have been a couple of chances and Drake has not been able to capitalize on here in this last few moments.
Trying to get Krutwig a touch inside. He's ball screening, rolling over.
That's a foul on Cameron Krutwig, and he's
put his shoulder right into Roman Pin.
He's in denial, but it's going to be his second.
Well, he won the ball in the post, so he comes out and sets this aggressive screen. You look at his post up right there. Didn't get it. Good job by Brody. He's been watching too many Bears games.
I'm talking about opportunities. Here's another one, KL, for these Bulldogs.
Williamson gets over the top of the screen.
Points off turnovers have been a big storyline for Drake today. They've got 13 of those. Can they do it again?
Those high hands by the Ramblers.
Sturts bounces it inside. Brody guarded by Krutwig. 3 to shoot, and he throws it into the corner. They got to hurry. Ahead of the buzzer. Are you kidding? Murphy got it from 3.
Took it off his shoelaces.
And now John Higgins calls an official timeout to go to the monitor.
This is a bad pass by Darnell Brody. What a catch. Hold the follow through. Ripple the twine. His right toe is behind the line, Clay. That is a 3 ball. Great concentration by Tremel Murphy.
And that is a 3-point basket. They confirm it. Just the 3rd 3-point make today. They are 3 of 18. That has not been a hot spot shooting-wise for Drake, but that is a huge basket at a huge time for the redshirt senior from Indiana.
They use Krutwig up here to help break the pressure.
1-point game. Loyola has been cold here in the second half. It's kind of been a rock fight here in game 2. Not a lot of scoring. Krutwig will get to the line again.
And Brody made that foul count. He made sure that Krutwig did not have an opportunity to finish. There's the ball screen. Hard foul across the right forearm. He's not going to give up a 3-point play.
Krutwig 2 of 5 at the line today. Not a great foul shooter, and he misses the front end. It's a double-double for Krutwig today. He had one yesterday. The lead goes back to 2 for Loyola, ranked number 22 in the country. Ranked for the first time since 1985. Win today puts them a step closer to locking up the Valley regular season title.
Pin's getting penetration, but too much size to shoot over.
Murphy, who hit that big basket moments ago, dribbles it off his foot out of bounds. Darren DeVries flies in to argue. He's not going to win that argument.
Well, and it's not only 2 minutes, so they cannot review it. If it went off, he thought it went off of a defender's foot.
Nah, he just muffed it.
Norris has been good controlling tempo.
This is a big possession for Loyola. They're all big now.
It's going to go through number 25.
He's got it. Krutwig at the top of the key, moves to the wing. Hands off Williamson. Can't finish at the rim. Who's going to have it? It's Loyola. And now we're going to get another official's review, I believe, just to make sure, as we are under 2 minutes.
Here's what Krutwig does so well. If you don't take the handoff, he's such a great passer. You can see Williamson with this replay. Williamson's going to turn the corner now. Does not take the handoff, but watch what Krutwig does. He knows he's going to have the defender behind him, drops him that little teardrop pass. Now we're going to do a review to see who touched this last.
And that glance, it looks like Brody.
Looks like Krutwig pushed it into Brody's hand from that angle.
And that's how it was called on the floor. That it would be Loyola ball, but we'll see if they overturn it. This is an important juncture of the game, and this is an important call. Loyola leading by 2. They won yesterday handily, 81-54. It has been an entirely different story here in game 2.
Well, we talked about what Darren DeVries has been through. They had 2 games last week, and they lost one to Valpo to turn around and play their in-state rival Northern Iowa on Wednesday. Tank Hemphill gets the broken foot, so Darren DeVries has 2 days to prep his team for this Loyola squad. Struggled the second half. They have been good today. Competitive.
You see that scooter behind him. That's how he's been getting around here the last few days since that surgery on Thursday. And these officials are taking a lot of time. Raina Tilley, John Higgins, Terry Oglesby. And again, about Hemphill, there is hope that they could get him back for the NCAA tournament should Drake make it. Here's another look. And it is going to stay Loyola ball. And it's Krutwig. And they can still afford to be patient, but they go to Williamson, and it's blocked at the back of the basket by Murphy.
Now we're going to take a look at the shot clock here, Clay. I don't think it should have been reset. I believe that ball was blocked. It never got to the rim. Krutwig picks up the long rebound to give Loyola the next possession.
We'll show you both clocks here during this replay.
Here's going to be the back cut by Williamson.
Did it hit the rim?
I don't think it did. The shot clock reset to 20 there in our screen. That ball looked like it was blocked by Brody off the backboard. So right now we're seeing 12 on the shot clock. Remember that ball in it? There's the block. No rim that I can see.
So they're putting 10 on the shot clock. And it's going to be a side out. Williamson to trigger for Loyola. 1:43 to go. 2-point lead for the Ramblers. Uguak trying to get it inside to Krutwig, and there is Sturts. Garrett Sturts, the fan favorite with the takeaway.
He's been quiet this game, but when they need a big turnover, Sturts creates it.
Penn wheeling around. Got the bounce, and we're tied.
How gutsy is that? When he turned the corner on Williamson, got it high off the window. The teardrop fell through.
Only the 4th basket this weekend for Roman Penn, and it's huge. Timeout. 1 minute and 8 seconds to go. Porter Moser wants to talk about this possession.
This is what your leader does. He struggled this weekend. He knows his team needs him here at the end of this game. Hesitation. Slides it up before Krutwig gets there. Ball screen by Brody. Williamson over the top. Hesitation. Turn on the Jets.
8 points for Roman Penn today. Said it before, it hasn't been a great weekend for him, but when game is on the line, leaders emerge, and that's certainly Roman Penn.
He's a great story. He had no offers come out of high school. He had an offer from any high school and at junior college. He talked his way on to the local prep school, and that's where Siena found him. Siena coach got fired. He comes to Drake to join his teammates from Northwest Indiana.
Out of the timeout, we'll see what Porter Moser has diagrammed for these Ramblers. Braden Norris drives, hands off for Krutwig. He's looking for help. Strong shot, another rebound. Sturts, and Drake can take the lead with 45 seconds to go.
Good defense by Brody. Held his ground.
Drake with a couple of timeouts left. Penn backs out, 10 to shoot. Wilkins has had a great second half. In the corner, rises up. That's off the side of the backboard. Shot clock violation. Play will continue. And now Loyola can take the last shot. Moser has a timeout to use. He's going to let them play on.
They might keep Clemens in this situation.
Krutwig lost it. Penn. And we're going to overtime. Krutwig loses it in the lane. That's the guy they wanted to have the ball at that point, Kevin, but Loyola comes up empty, and we're going to overtime.
This has been all guts in the second half by this Drake Bulldog team. Fought their way back into it.
How about Roman Penn down the stretch? 5 big points in the last couple of minutes, including the tying basket.
He calls for the ball screen here. Williamson goes over the top, and his hesitation right there gets Williamson on his heels, and then the explosion. He feels Krutwig coming, gets it high up on the rim. Best point guard in the Valley right there. Having a tough day at the office yesterday, but comes back strong for his team today.
I thought we were checking goaltending.
This is going to be the first overtime this season for both teams. Overtime presented by Papa John's. And it already feels like March, Kevin Lehman.
Well, we've talked how much is on the line for both these teams. Loyola trying to get some separation for an outright regular season title and continue to build that resume for an at-large bid. And Drake, their backs are against the wall in this game.
Yeah.
That loss yesterday.
And there was a point early on in the second half where Loyola seemed in control. And they could have run away and hid like they did yesterday, but Drake didn't allow it today.
With that big three by Murphy, and then Garrett Sturts with a huge rebound. Everyone's been in the act here for the Bulldogs to fight back in this and tie it up.
Krutwig wins the tip for Loyola, and they'll start with the ball here in overtime. Tied at 45. Loyola trying to complete the sweep. Drake needs a win here to keep their at-large hopes alive. It's tipped out of bounds. Loyola will keep it. Boy, there's Garrett Sturts, who has been outstanding here in the second half.
Well, you cannot measure his game by looking at the box score. His hands are everywhere on loose balls, on the glass, tip outs.
Williamson for 3 straight away. And the shooting in the second half for Loyola has been pretty cool. 37% for the game.
And Krutwig has not got the touches in deep.
They stay with Penn. And didn't get it that time. Again, the crowd wants a foul call.
Well, Clemens went underneath Sturts on that rebound.
Fans have been a part of this series this weekend, and it's been refreshing. Of course, with COVID, we haven't seen many arenas have this kind of atmosphere this year. Clemens in the corner. Did he step out of bounds? Yes, he did. And Clemens is going to come out.
Another one of those unforced turnovers.
Marquise Kennedy back in the game. 16 turnovers now for Loyola. We're in overtime.
Drake has settled down. They've been able to much more comfortable in their half-court offense than they were in the first half of this game.
DJ Wilkins almost had it stolen away by Uguak. And both teams just trying to settle in here in this extra session. Now we got a timeout with 3:44 to go in overtime in Des Moines.
Dr. Pepper and cream soda's here. A new combo that's music to my ears, okay. Let's play. Cream soda and Dr. Pepper time. The treat that treats you right. Pour it in a glass of wine.
Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
A delicious duet.
Old Trapper Beefs. Tough snacks.
Out here, nothing comes easy. That's why you gotta be tough. The truck, it's tough. My crew, definitely tough. But Old Trapper taught me the value of tenderness.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Oh, it's a puppy.
Moments away from Charlie Collier in Texas taking on number 7 Baylor there in Waco. That game is going to start over on ESPNU until we're done here in Des Moines. You can also see it on the ESPN app. Texas trying to snap an 8-game losing skid to Baylor. Send it back to Clay and Kevin.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. 3:44 remaining here in OT, tied at 45. No points here in the extra session. Papa John's best stuff. And you can see what Drake has been able to do off those 16 Loyola turnovers.
Only 6 for Drake because they've handled the ball throughout this entire game. 18 points off turnovers for the Bulldogs. And they've been much more comfortable in the second half in their half-court offense, getting dribble penetration.
Drake with a nice run. They were down 42-32 at one point late in the second half. There's Roman Penn staying hot, and Drake's got the lead by 2.
Now, we talked yesterday that we had the 2 leading candidates for Player of the Year in the Valley, Roman Penn and Cameron Krutwig. And Penn has shown you why he needs to be in that conversation.
First lead for Drake since it was 14-12 with 7:57 to go in the first half. Marquise Kennedy got it and won. Chance to take the lead at the line for Kennedy.
Keeps his pivot foot down, able to step through and kiss it off the window.
7 for Kennedy. And the lead is 1 for Loyola.
You get a mismatch inside. Murphy on the block.
And Drake regains the lead.
That was a set play to get Murphy isolated on the block. Good call by Darren DeVries.
17 for Murphy. Here's Kennedy a little off balance, left it short, falls into Krutwig's arms. He's tied up, and Drake's got it. On the possession arrow, it belongs to the Bulldogs.
And who's involved again? Roman Penn at the defensive end. Watch Penn get back into action. Comes in from behind, ties that ball up.
Drake trying to beat a top 25 team for the first time since 2008, their last NCAA tournament appearance. They beat number 8 Butler that year. And now Darren DeVries calls a timeout with 2:13 to go in overtime. Boy, Darren DeVries, when we talked to him this week, Kevin, he was down after losing Tank Hemphill on Wednesday night, even though his team played exceptionally well against Northern Iowa. he lost the best player on this team when it comes to scoring and leadership.
And you could tell his wheels were spinning in that conversation. He was trying to figure out how he was going to adjust things, and you get a good look there at Shanquan Tank Hemphill, who broke his foot in that game Wednesday, had surgery Thursday. We talked to Darren the next day, and he was talking about he had to move Terrell Murphy to a different position, going to bring Sturts in the lineup. They had 1 day of prep. See, a day and a half of prep to get ready for this Loyola team.
And, you know, and yesterday in the first half, they were running on sheer emotion. Got it to halftime with a 3-point lead. Got blitzed in the second half. But it has been a different team here today. And they're on the precipice of upsetting number 22 Loyola and salvaging a split in this series and keeping those at-large hopes in check.
Well, I'm going to turn this back to last year. Darren DeVries got beat here by the Panthers of Northern Iowa badly the last game of the season. 5 days later, he upsets Northern Iowa in the Valley tournament. So Darren is no stranger to making quick turnarounds and the proper adjustments for his team.
You see them after the loss yesterday, Drake fell 10 spots in the net. The Ramblers climbed 3. It'll be interesting to see what happens after today. And there's still 2:13 to go in this overtime. Drake with the ball, leading by 1. They have a timeout remaining. Loyola has 2 timeouts left in their pocket. Roman Penn, he's been good here since halftime. Drops it off to Brody. Brody, nice up and under. To the other side of the rim, gets 2 big points. It's a 3-point lead.
It's a great read by Penn. High ball screen. Got Krutwig to go with him.
That foul on Wilkins in the backcourt. And Loyola's going to go to the other end to shoot free throws.
Here's the ball screen. Brody with great hands and patience to go up the other side of the rim with the finish. But that delivery by Penn.
Braden Norris, very capable free throw shooter at 74%.
Transfer from Oakland. Ice in his veins.
Gets them both. Lead back to 1 for Drake. Drake hasn't had more than a 2-point lead since they jumped onto that 6-0 lead here today. That seems like 3 days ago now, as we're in overtime.
Penn needs to get it back.
Shot clock at 5. Penn for Brody. Spins away from Krutwig. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. Great defense by the Ramblers. They get it back with a chance to take the lead. And if you're tuning in, looking for women's basketball, Texas and Baylor has started on ESPNU.
And Loyola got the ball pinned on the left side and kept it there. That was a fractured possession for the Bulldogs.
Do they have to get it in Krutwig's hands here?
You got to play through the big man. He's their best passer. Get it to him in the funnel.
Norris tried the reverse and Sturts got the block. Williamson. Sturts stepped on the line, out of bounds, and Loyola gets a big break with 54 seconds to play. Man, that kid hustles.
He said yesterday, he plays with 3 lungs. Look at the block. And now he's back in the action. That comes off the rim. Sturts tries to chase it down.
Norris, and that's a turnover. That's a foul on Krutwig, and Drake gets it back.
Well, that is the second time in this second half and overtime that Krutwig has committed a foul on those screens.
Yeah, and we haven't seen many illegal screens called on him. He is so good, so nimble, and I think a lot of times the officials give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't get it that time.
Well, look for a ball screen now by Brody and Penn. Williamson is trying to fight over the top. There's Darren DeVries telling his point guard what he wants.
A 15-second differential game and shot clock. So Drake can milk some clock, but not all of it. Penn. 5 to shoot. Roman Penn to Brody. Again, loose ball on the floor. And another shot clock violation. And Loyola will get it back with 14 seconds left. And I've said it a few times here since halftime. Another missed opportunity for Drake.
Loyola's so good with their hands defensively. They close up your passing lanes. Penn thought he had a bounce pass into Brody.
Now we get a timeout here. That's called by Loyola. With 14.4 left. And a timeout in the action. Let's send it to the studio and Michael.
Yeah, guys, just a reminder that over on ESPNU right now, the 7th-ranked women's team in the country, Baylor, taking on Texas. Texas, by the way, lost 8 in a row against Baylor. When that game's over, to be back on ESPN2, you can also watch it on the ESPN app. But let's send it back to you guys in the final 14 seconds.
Thanks, Michael. We knew this was going to be good, Kevin, this weekend, and it has not disappointed, especially here today.
What Porter Moser likes to do in situations is put the ball in Marquise Kennedy's hands. Now, he had the hamstring pull and didn't play that last series, so he may go somewhere else with it now, but Marquise Kennedy is his most explosive player.
Actually added another second on the clock. It's at 15.5. Loyola's got to come the length of the floor. Down 1. Krutwig for Kennedy. And there's the timeout. And now Loyola is out of timeouts. And Porter Moser will go back to the clipboard.
Now he needs to get this shot up. So if there's a miss, they have a chance to get an offensive rebound or get it back with some pressure. So he cannot run the clock all the way out. You want to shoot this thing at about 6 or 7 seconds at the latest. Give you a chance, an opportunity to tip in the miss.
Here's what's at stake. You see the net rankings. Drake falling 10 spots yesterday with the loss. Loyola comfortably in the tournament. Drake, they're a last 4 in at this point, and then seeding for the Valley tournament. Of course, the regular season champ would be the #1 seed. It always comes in handy. This Loyola team has won 11 in a row. They haven't lost since January 10th at Indiana State. You and I were there for that one. And that was a series that was thrown together in under 48 hours. And it was after Loyola's series here at Drake had been postponed. So they were kind of caught off guard. Since then, they have been outstanding. But they're on the ropes here today.
And they've, in that 7-game road win streak, 50 points averaged by the opponent. But again, let's see if they puts it back in Marquise Kennedy's hands. We've seen Porter Moser do this in the past. His most explosive player right there, number 12.
There's Krutwig. There's Kennedy. Kennedy with 7 points today. Williamson fires it in, gets it to Norris. The point guard around the screen, drives. He's going to take the shot. It's blocked by Brody with 7.8 to go. Is that a little bit of a surprise?
Good, yes, good read and reaction by Brody. The ball screen by Krutwig. But he had the option of Kennedy was in the corner, going to drift up. But what he did there, Clay, he got the shot off quick. They've still got 7.8 left with an OB under. One of the issues you have with giving to Krutwig in this situation, he is not an outstanding free throw shooter. Krutwig at 67% from the line, and he struggled today. Brody, arms to the ceiling. Excellent defense.
We're going to adjust the clock to 8.3.
That's a great no call because Norris creates the contact as Darnell Brody goes straight up and keeps his fingers pointed to the ceiling. Remember, he had the foul yesterday on Uguak where he came down over the top, picked up his 4th.
Williamson again to get it in. Murphy guarding the baseline. It is Kennedy with it. Kennedy drives, and he has it blocked from behind by Murphy, and Sturts, I think, also got a piece of it.
Another chance for the Ramblers.
Krutwig hasn't touched it on the last 2 attempts. You gotta get somebody over there to.
We need to get the ball back.
Get it in. They got the ball now. That's part of it.
No timeouts. Again, Krutwig's not a big option because he's not a good free throw shooter. Clemens in.
Norris, the lob, too strong. Loose ball. Murphy comes away with it, and Drake is going to win it. A foul with 0.2 seconds left. That's going to send Drake to the line with a chance to ice this.
A defensive effort by the Bulldogs. 3 chances underneath their own basket for the Ramblers.
Actually, now they're going to change the clock again to 1.7. Well, they had 3 inbounds opportunities there, Kevin, and they were just a little disheveled.
Well, Kennedy got to the window, but got it blocked. That one attempt, but great defensive effort. And of course, Norris got it there too and got blocked by Brody. So the effort by Drake at the defensive end, outstanding.
Tremel Murphy at the line, a 71% foul shooter. He is 4 for 4 at the line today.
Now, this is one of those situations where you say, make the first, and do you miss the second? If you make the second and you're up 3, it gives Loyola a chance to throw this thing down court or catch and shoot. Doesn't matter over yet. Doesn't matter now.
That was a big 2.5 seconds that they put back on the clock at 1.7. And now Drake uses its last timeout, and this game's still hanging in the balance when it looked like it was over. Loyola still has a heartbeat. Drake trying to get its 20th win on the year for the 3rd straight year. And it would be only the 8th 20-win season in team history. Kind of puts into perspective what a job Darren DeVries has done. This would be such an emotional win for these Bulldogs, and it would keep their NCAA tournament hopes alive.
And a big boost to that net that we've been talking about. DeVries in his career here at the Knapp Center, 38 wins, just 5 losses.
And a loss here for Drake today, if it were to happen, you know, it wouldn't mean that their NCAA tournament hopes are completely shot, because you can still win the Valley in St. Louis, but their at-large hopes would certainly go by the boards. This is to make it a 2-point game.
He may have missed that on purpose.
51-50. Drake with a huge win in overtime over Loyola. Big upset. And Drake gets its 11th win in the Valley. Some words down on the floor here at the Knapp Center, Kevin.
Yes, this is not ending like you would want it. This is when we even got some coaches involved.
(51-50) Drake gets the win over Loyola. Coming up next, women's basketball, Texas and Baylor. We send it from Des Moines to Pam Ward. Take it away, Pam.